What if you could see the exact date someone would leave your life? Not when they die, but the final day you would ever interact. For Alex, a man who built walls to keep heartbreak out, this wasn't a curse, it was a shield. Then, one morning, it happened. He woke up, and the world was covered in dates. A ticking clock floated above every person he saw. The barista who made his coffee, 6 months. The old man he passed on the street, 2 years. His own parents, a decade. At first, it was terrifying. But then, a sense of control washed over him. He could finally navigate life without the risk of being left behind. He could invest his time wisely, only in people with long-term dates. He started curating his life. He met a woman at a party. They laughed, they connected, but her date was only 3 weeks away. He made an excuse and walked away. He saw a group of guys playing soccer, and one invited him to join their weekly game. He glanced at their dates, all under a year. He politely declined. His life became a fortress, safe and predictable. He avoided the pain of goodbyes, but in doing so, he avoided life itself. The silence in his apartment grew louder each day. He had successfully protected his heart, but now it had nothing to beat for. One afternoon, a voice called his name. "Alex, is that you?" It was Chloe, his childhood best friend he hadn't seen in 10 years. He looked up, his heart sinking as his eyes focused on the date above her head. It read, "Tomorrow." Every instinct screamed at him to run, to protect himself from the inevitable pain. But then she smiled, a genuine, warm smile that reminded him of a time before the dates, before the fear. For the first time in years, he ignored the clock. They spent the entire day together, walking through their old neighborhood, sharing stories and laughing until their sides hurt. It was the most alive he had felt since the numbers appeared. He didn't mention the date. He just lived in the moment. The next morning, he braced for the emptiness, the confirmation that she was gone. His phone buzzed. It was a text from Chloe. "I had the most amazing time yesterday. I'm on a plane now, moving for my dream job, but this isn't goodbye. It's see you later." Alex was confused. He walked to the mirror, his reflection staring back. And for the first time he saw it. A date, faint but clear, floating above his own head. It said, "Today." And in that moment, the devastating truth hit him. The dates weren't when people would leave his life. They were the dates he would leave theirs. His fear, his walls, his calculated decisions to walk away. He wasn't predicting the future. He was creating it. It was a painful awakening, but a necessary one. He picked up his phone and called his parents, not because their date was 10 years away, but because he missed them today. He texted the guy from the park, asking if the offer to play soccer was still open. He started to see people not as expiring timers, but as opportunities for connection, no matter how brief. Slowly, as he focused more on the moments and less on the endings, the dates above everyone's heads began to fade, becoming ghosts of a fear he no longer needed. He learned that the value of a connection isn't measured in its length, but in its depth. A single day with Chloe had been more meaningful than years spent in his self-imposed, safe isolation. We can't control who stays and who goes, or for how long. All we can control is how much we show up for them while they're here. So let me ask you, if you knew you only had one more day with someone you love, what would you do differently?